how to maintain your wardrobe. This is an important question, specifically for people like me and like a lot among you, I suppose, who don't feel very comfortable giving their cherished suits, their cherished shirts to dry cleaners or to professional of cleaning. Well, I think we all had some kind of bad experience one day or another with dry cleaning when your suit is coming back and you can feel that the fabric has suffered a little bit, or if your shirt comes back and you see that your collar and your cuff start to really go wrong. So the first thing I want to share with you is that, and I'm sorry for the people who are working in the dry cleaning industry, is that if you follow a few simple gestures and if you have a few simple reflex and if you dedicate a little bit of your time to maintain your wardrobe yourself, you can avoid using dry cleaners for all your life. I didn't use dry cleaners for probably more than 10 years now, and I can tell you that my suits and my shirts, not even my shoes, because this is another subject we're going to speak about at the end of this program, but my suit and shirt, they say thank you to me every day, and I will explain to you why and how. The first thing I want to share with you is a matter of quantity and quality. Of course, the best solution is to have a sufficient number of suits to make sure to fulfill rule number 1, which is a real rule this time. Try not to wear the same suit or the same jacket 2 days in a row. That's the first rule. And it's easy to understand why. It's because of perspiration, is because of sweating. A suit is made of wool generally with a lining, and if you sweat, even if you don't feel that you are sweating, even if it's in winter, it's not really good. You have to give the time to the suit or the jacket to recover from a day of wearing. So do your best to have as soon as possible at least 2 suits or 1 suit and maybe a sport jacket to make sure you don't have to wear them 2 days in a row. The second thing is that sometimes you invest a lot of money on a beautiful suit and unfortunately you forget to invest the right amount of money on the proper hanger. And that's one of the most common mistakes I've seen. I've seen people with incredible suits, but hanging their suit on crappy hangers. One of the most important parts of a suit is the shoulder. And when you put, it's easy to understand. So your hanger have to have sufficient width so that it can maintain the shape of your suit. So buy yourself a couple of good hangers. Well, the best thing to do would be to have a proper hanger for each of your suit, but a hanger which has sufficient space, literally at the level of the shoulders. And please, please, please don't use these dirty hangers made of metal, very thin, that the dry cleaners are giving you. You are damaging your suit, you understand? So, rule number 3, when you come home after a day of work, don't do like I did when I was a lazy boy. Don't do like I've seen so many people do. You remove your jacket, you just throw your jacket on the side of the table, you open a bottle of wine, or you need a beer. When you arrive home, undress immediately. Put your suit on the proper hanger. Put your trousers on the same proper hanger so that the wool can recover immediately. And then you will see that if you only do this, the life of your suit will be multiplied probably by 10. Because the wool is a natural matter and needs to recover. The rule number 3 is to brush your suit. So you can do it immediately because, same thing, you might don't notice. But when you wear a suit a whole day, you are confronted with pollution, with dust. So it's a simple gesture. I must confess I don't do it all the time and it's a mistake. But just brush, a soft brush. You can find this for a few dollars in stores. Just brush it to make sure there's no residual dust or pollution on your suit. And the most important thing, maybe of all, is that when it's on a hanger, if it's in the summer, put it outside. so that during the day, not during the night, I explain to you why, but put it outside so that it can have a little bit of fresh air. You know, this suit needs to breathe like you, needs to recover from the sweat. So put it, and if it's winter, if it's cold outside, just put your suit, hang your suit for 30 minutes close to an open window with a little breeze of fresh air. This will make a huge difference in terms of odors, in terms of thermal regulation, in terms of, you know, it's very important. Put on your suit on a proper hanger and put it close to a window or outside even if it's summer. But do it during the day, because the problem is that during the night there are some nasty little insects called moths, and this is a worldwide problem and I don't know why, but moths have a tendency of preferring the most luxurious fabrics. Moths, this is for them the meal of the year. If you have a cashmere coat, for example, they adore cashmere. I don't know why. Maybe we have luxury moth in France, but most of the problem I had with my most luxurious fabrics. So this is my last advice about that is, if you don't wear your suit for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, and even worse, for a whole season, put them in a suit bag. This is very important to protect them. And as far as I know, even if it's not 100% protection, it's one of the best protection you can find. You make sure that your suit is protected inside a bag. If you want to go a little bit further than that, if you are obsessed with having perfect suits every day, then you can buy what we call a steam machine, a vertical steam machine. It's a simple machine. I used to have one for traveling. I use it here and there. Well, to be honest, between you and me, I have the luck to have a bespoke wardrobe. So what I do generally when I need my suits to be maintained, I give it back to my tailor. But still, you can use steam. And if you really want to go another step further, that is to say, start to do the gestures of what a real professional would do with your suit, you can iron gently your suit, but you don't iron directly on the fabric. I don't know the word in English, I'm sorry. In France, we call it une pâte mouille. That is to say, a wet cloth that you put between the wool and the fabric. But it's really in case you really want to push it far. But if you respect the 4 first gestures I told you, and if you don't wear your suit 2 times in a row, you will not need to give your suits to dry cleaners, believe me. And not only that, but you're gonna keep your suits for a much longer time, and at the end, make a lot of savings. And I didn't make the calculation, but if you give your suits and on top of that your shirts to dry cleaners every week, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the year, if you do it by yourself with this simple gesture, you will be able maybe to buy 1 or even 2 new suits for the season. Now, let's speak about shirts. And shirts is a very interesting subject. Because, I can confess, me too, 10, 15 years ago when I started my sartorial learning curve, I was a little bit lazy, or I had the consideration I was too busy to take care of my own shirt, which is ridiculously stupid because you just have to dedicate a little bit of time. Please learn how to operate your washing machine. Just learn the basic rule. Don't mix the colors. If you have white shirts, only clean your shirts with other white shirts. And 30 degrees, that is to say, not hot. You know, something very soft and delicate, a delicate cycle. And then at the end, you hang them for the night, and then it will dry slowly. Please don't use any dryer because you will end up with 2 sizes under your size. And the second thing is, please, gentlemen, learn how to iron your shirt by yourself. I remember I was 19 years old. I came to Paris to work. I needed to be suited and to wear a tie and a shirt every day. And my mom was not with me. And I didn't have the means to go to the dry cleaner every day to give my shirts. Maybe if you use it 7 days a week at, let's say, I don't know, $10 a shirt, this is a lot of money. In the end, I couldn't afford it. So what did I do? I found a guy, he was my roommate, and he taught me how to iron a shirt. Well, maybe not the most orthodox way to do it, but I've been using this manner to iron my shirts ever since. And it became for me, and Sonia can testify, it's a moment of pleasure. You know why? Because I love this idea of taking care of my wardrobe by myself. And moreover, the steam is your best friend. And when you use a proper iron, not something you can buy yourself, a steam machine, which is incredible. In Italy, they all have this. It's beautiful. But just a good iron and learn how to iron shirts. And what I'm going to do something in front of you. I'm going to take a big risk. Let's go. I'm going to go upstairs. I take you with me in my own house, and I'm going to iron in front of you a shirt so that I can share with you my method. Once again, it may not be the most orthodox method. I'm pretty sure I'm going to receive an avalanche of comments of people saying, no, this is not the way to iron your shirt. You should start with the collar. You should continue with the cuff. But this is the way I learned. I know this is not probably the best way. My friend Luca Rubinacci did the same on Instagram. He had, I was about to say he had the balls, the guts to do it in front of people. And if you can learn a thing or two from me, you're going to do it. It takes 5 minutes to do it properly. And for me, sometimes I iron 3. When I'm going to travel, I iron 10 shirts in a row. And that's, and literally, it's like a spiritual moment for me. I like the steam. I like the smell of clean cotton is very agreeable. So I'm going to show you now how to I iron my shirts. So let's go. The first thing you need is a good table. So you see, this is a real life. My table is not very clean. It's been used a lot because I iron a lot. And you need a good iron. And please, 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 invest in a decent quality iron. This is a Roventa made in Germany. The Germans are very famous for the quality of what they make. And I have this iron probably since 12 or 13 years. So it's a good investment to invest in a great iron. My next buy will be a central vapor, we call it like that. The Italian, they love to have this. It has a big reservoir with water and produce a lot of steam. You know why? Because steam is your best friend when you iron. So let's iron this beautiful pink shirt. So some people like to iron reverse. I prefer to iron on the normal side. And so some people start with the collar and cuff. I saw Luca Rubinacci, my friend. Hello, Luca. He started with the collar and cuff. I don't. I do something very different. So I go directly to the front. Okay. So the secret of all is to make sure that the shape of the table is this, that your shirt is really taking the shape of the table. And then you go. 2 rule of thumbs in ironing. Use steam as much as you can. You see, even the noise is very agreeable. And if you have a little stain, it's just water, you see. So, and then you press down, steam and pressing down, and you already know half of what you need to know for ironing. And then you pull a little bit. This is a little bit a more difficult part because you will have to go through the button. This is why you need a beautiful iron whose shape is designed for that. Look at that, you see? It's designed for that. You go in between the buttons. Same thing, you have to push, use the steam. You see, it's not that complicated. And it can go very fast. So I just will go a little bit higher in rhythm. Okay, that's the first. Then you do the same on the reverse. Up. Okay, oh, by the way, I show you that. That's an English seam, 1 needle seam. That means it's a very beautiful, beautiful shirt. We call it an English seam. The French call it, the English call it a French seam. I don't know why. It's some curiosity. And so you see, very quickly, you press down and you use the steam always. Then you do the same. This side is a little bit easier because you don't have the buttons, okay? So that's easy. You press up and here you go. You have the second front already made. You can notice here it's a shirt I have probably since more than 10 years. You can see this last buttonhole is horizontal. It means it's a very high level shirt. And the stitching is going away, but it's inside the trouser. So it's a shirt that has been a long time with me, more than a decade. Can you imagine that? Now I do the back. So easy. Same thing. You pull to make sure the shirt takes the shape of the table, and here you go. You don't hesitate. You know, ironing is like many things in life. It's like learning how to swim, or learning how to even become a handyman. I was not a handyman, and I am not a handyman, but sometimes you just have to do it, and you learn when you do it. So I do the back in 3 times. One side and then the middle. You pull, and for the middle, I will do the back and also the upper part of the yoke here, and we're going to refine later, okay? So same thing. Just you press and you use, I'm sorry, I have a lot of steam on my glasses right now, so I'm not sure I see everything. And then, don't worry, there's a little water, it doesn't matter, this is water. And then the last part for the side, here. Okay, so same thing, you finish the back. Up, press down, use the steam. Okay, you see, it's going to be a delicious shirt, and you can already see it's going to have a great shape. Then, for the color, some people do it on the right side. Me, I do it reverse. Don't ask me why. It's my method. I've always done this, so I really press hard, to that the color is really impeccable. And then I just do the light press to accentuate the fold. And then I go to the side of the yoke. You remember, I did the center of the yoke with the back, so I do the side of the yoke here, like that. Very easy. Hup. And then the other side. I have no idea how long it takes, probably a couple of minutes. I don't know, because I'm speaking a lot, so I'm really proud. And then you have to finish with the sleeve. I finish with the sleeve. Well, this is not my best part. I may not be as good as I am on the other parts. It's maybe my weakness. So if you have some advice for me to do a better job on the sleeve, I'm very happy to receive them. But this is where I do like that. You see, up, very easy, and you go up to the front. So the problem is mainly when you have some shearing here, these different plies on some very sophisticated shirt is not easy. But this one is easy. Then the reverse is easy. Of course, you iron it on the other side. You do like that. So once again, I may not be the best for ironing sleeves, but most of the time, actually all the time, it suffices to the use I do. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea of the time. Here we have a very well ironed shirt by Hugo Jacomet at home. So my message to you is do it by yourself. You're going to make a lot of saving. It's very agreeable, and you have something which is invaluable in life, which is autonomy. Cheers. So, you see, may not be the most orthodox manner, but my shirt is ready to be worn, and it smells good, and I have this advantage. And in my mind, I say, okay, I saved maybe between $5 and $10, and I can buy myself maybe a couple of shirts, or maybe a little bit more than a couple of shirts at the end of the year. Now let's go to shoes. Many things are negotiable in the sartorial universe. Well, if you're not a professional or ironing your shirt, well, if the back of your shirt is not exactly perfect, who cares? You will keep your jacket most of the time. If your suit needs a little bit, of press, you can't go to your tailor, or you don't have time to take care of it, well, nobody would really care. But there's one thing which is not negotiable, is you have to go outside with clean shoes. I don't want to make this as a kind of a lifestyle rule, but I've been observing this, that clean shoes is the first sign that by which you can understand who you have in front of you. And so this is very non-negotiable, my friends. You have to go outside with clean shoes. And so you have, once again, to learn how to do it yourself. It's fun. It smells good. It's not complicated. So I'm not going to show you how I do it, because there's hundreds of tutorials on the web for that. You can go to the Shoe Snob, my friend Justin Fitzpatrick, I know he's putting, or even I think on J. Fitzpatrick Footwear, his website, is explaining how to properly shine shoes. Kirby Allison on his YouTube channel, I think there's dozens literally of videos on the subject. I think he also do some kind of a Sunday shoe shining live, so you can really learn from him. So I'm not going to, they are professional of that, I am not. But let me share with you a few ideas and a few things I do. First of all, I use a product, and I'm sorry, this is a French product, but I believe this is the best product in the world. It's from a brand called Saphir, S-A-P-H-R-I-R, Saphir. They do fantastic product for shoe shining, and they have one product which is called La Crème Universelle, the universal cream. It's not expensive, and if you know, this is the first gesture I do. When I come back, and you can do the same, when you come back from work, put your shoes on shoe trees. It's almost non-negotiable because shoe trees, they are most of the time made, or quality shoe trees are made of wood, cedar wood, that will remove the sweat and help the leather to recover and help your shoes to keep their shape. If you are in a hurry, if you want to have beautiful shoes, use only, first of all, brush them, remove the dirt, remove any kind of dust, and then apply a layer of this crème universelle, universal cream by Saphir. This is a fantastic product that will literally nourish the leather, that will really make sure that the leather remain in good shape. You can breathe this. You can see your leather literally eating this product. It's very good for his health. And then, if you don't have the time, you let them dry for couple of minutes, and then you have to have this. This is non-negotiable. You have to have this brush. Look at that. This is a brush by GM Weston. I bought it. It was expensive. I bought it. I think it's natural wild hog. Is it wild hog, Sonia? We say wild boar. Sorry, not wild hog. This is wild boar hair. I bought this brush in 1996. I remember exactly. It was expensive, but it's probably the best investment I made in my life concerning shoes. I have one black for black shoes. I have one more brown for brown shoes. And then after you applied this crème universelle, you just brush the excess of cream on it, and this fantastic brush gives a little bit of a shine. Of course, it's not the exceptional shine that you can do after if you take the time to apply a wax and to really do an extreme shine with water and everything. Once again, look at Kirby Allison and Justin Fitzpatrick to have some tutorial on that. But this is a small trick. If you are really in a hurry, universal cream, a little bit of brush, and that's it. You're ready to go. So, in summary, you understand that with a few simple gestures, and that will cost you a little bit of investment, a little bit of product for the shoes, a little bit of brush, but for the rest, nothing really. It's free. It's just your time. You can avoid, first of all, giving a lot of money to the dry cleaner. And once again, I'm sorry, dry cleaners, I have nothing against you. We can use you for other stuff, other, comforters, for whatever, things that you can get. But if you really are into quality clothing, I strongly advise if you follow these simple gestures with the hanger, with give a refreshment to your suit, with using the universal cream for your shoes, with ironing your shirt and gently washing them in the washing machine, you will be happy. You will have a wardrobe who will last much longer, and on top of that, you're going to make tremendous saving. I hope this was useful for you. Once again, there's no truth in this activity. What I say is that it's my experience, but I believe I have a little bit of experience since almost 15 years now that I do this on a daily basis, and my wardrobe is in the good condition. The only enemy we all have are moth, but never forget suit bag. It can be very important to protect your beloved suits. So I hope it was interesting for you. I give you an appointment to the next episode of Sartorial Talks. In the meantime, wash your shirts, iron your shirt, ask your wife to teach you, ask your grandmother to teach you if you want, but try to do it yourself. It is such a good pleasure. Cheers, my friends.